What you gonna talk? Okay.
What you gonna talk about here?
So I am here with my two bitches. No, I'm just playing. And I just want to do a video talking about things we talk about, and I find that people will find them very interesting, and people can relate to it. So basically, what we were talking about was how things come from seeds, and it grows to things that's 200 times bigger than the seed, and how does that energy from that seed has that much potential?
I don't know.
This is like, but I mean, if you think about it, it's
I don't know what to say. Me and her be having some really like.
Me and her do too.
She just put me on the damn spot.
She do too, girls. We're all very similar, and that's how I feel like there's probably more people out there that's like that, and they probably in a town that's hickory dickory in Knoxville, and they don't got and they don't got nobody to talk to, and they can click on here, and if I get 1,000 subscribers, I can get some money and keep doing it, and I come to your town. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, you can't see me. Well, I think it has that potential energy because the potential itself is like infinite. Like the source of energy or the whole, I guess, point of energy is infinite. You can't really measure it. You can measure it, but there's no
like it doesn't have a beginning or
an end.
It's
forever going.
And that's what I think the true, if anything that we can understand God with, I think it's energy. Because just like the end, how cool is the end, God? Because Black Eyed Peas made their album, one of the albums called The End, and it was Energy Never Dies. So it's never the end. Right. And that's true because only energy is transformed. Right. And at the bare basis, the atoms that make us up has neurons and neutrons that are just vibrating, which just make energy. Mm-hmm. So essentially, everything is just, that's why I was saying how I believe that everything on higher dimensions are connected. Everything is, girl. So do you know, girl, I was watching some show, girl, and they was talking about how if you come in from a black hole, it was a theory, and they were saying how you get to another universe is a black hole, right? And then I was listening to that man, that actual projection. Remember, I told both of y'all about the story about that boy, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was listening to him, the same documentary, girl, and he was like, how you get to other worlds is you can go through the sun, okay? And how I make that correlation about black holes is because you know how a black hole is made? It's the death of a star. It's the death of a sun, which is a star.
Well,
so is that weird, ain't it?
No, that's what people think.
Right.
All black holes come from. That's where most of them come from in space. But you can create black holes here on Earth.
How the hell can you create a black hole here? Yeah, because you know what, that's true because you know what an atomic bomb. You know what an atomic bomb is a sun. It's a backwards something like they took the energy of the sun, like the plasma, the hydrogen, and that's how they made the atomic bomb. So the atomic bomb is essentially a sun. So,
okay, but you're talking about black holes, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I didn't know they could do a black hole.
Yeah, girl, science is crazy. So, it's energy. So that's why, like, you have a lot of people, scientists anyway, that are trying to research things that happen, like in the Bermuda Triangle, or people who go missing for times and reappear, and
people go missing from time and reappear.
Yeah, people go missing all the time,
and then reappear.
Yes. People literally will be missing for days, weeks, and stuff. But when they reappear or they're found again, they feel like they weren't gone for any amount of time.
So time is missing. And it sounds like an abduction. I mean, that's what it sounds like. But go ahead.
So, like, scientists are trying to say that possibly they entered through black holes, which scientists or theorists believe black holes are leading to other dimensions.
Right.
And we have black holes all over our Earth, our universe.
And I don't know. A lot of people say that.
So, yes, black holes is not just from suns. It's just, which the sun has a lot of energy, but it's just energy.
So black holes are there, but a black hole can be made up through a sun dying. or the death of a son.
That's one of the ways that they found that it actually does and put out to us.
Because they actually could, like, NASA's one where I got that information. Because you know I go to NASA, I'll reach back to that. But NASA are the ones that's figured that because they know they can see stars and suns and stuff that's dying, right. So, and that's how they got their concept.
Think more along the lines of what a star in the sun is instead of what it actually is. Think
like it's just pure energy.
It's energy.
It's pure energy.
So if you can conjure up enough energy, it has to be concentrated toward each other and stuff. Has to be extremely concentrated. That's how you create a black hole and stuff.
So what is the process
can't do it out of anything in here?
So what is the process of making a black hole?
Well, Tierra, you got to think everything. Like I said, everything that's up there is down here just in different forms. You know what the sun is? Like hydrogen and nitrogen. It's hydrogen and nitrogen here. Mm-hmm. Everything that's up there is here. It's how it's manipulated up there. Mm-hmm. We're not as
how much is it
concentrated?
We're not thinking let's bring all this hydrogen and nitrogen.
Yeah.
We're not doing that here. You feel me? It's happening up there. It's the same things we have here. It's just manipulated and brought together in a different way.
So if they have a black hole, if they're able to do that, if you said they're able to create a black hole,
they do it in labs.
That's what I'm saying.
But we don't have the resources or the tools to pull pure forms of hydrogen,
exactly,
and things like that. And
so they do it in labs. So they're not doing it, but they're doing it as far as like stimulations.
No,
simulation. So they're actually getting hydrogen. So they're actually getting hydrogen.
There's hydrogen like in the air.
Exactly.
But it's about
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But
you can revert. You know what a raw like a real piece of sugar is? Like it's like oxygen and something else. Like you can separate them on a skillet.
Turn
it back to water.
Right.
And then to a gas.
Exactly.
And back to gas. So it's. Scientists can do that
because that's another form. Actually, that's another video I'm gonna do. That's another form. It's not
natural what they're doing in labs.
It's
not natural. They're making it happen.
Right.
It's the real thing.
It's the real. They got it from
there,
that.
It's natural, but down here to do it,
it's been natural.
And they're saying that we have it naturally all over our Earth, which is why they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Bermuda Triangle and things like that. They feel like the Bermuda Triangle is just a heavily concentrated area of those things, and at some point you could slip through a black hole and not realize it
because of all that concentrated energy.
Yeah,
which is reacting on each other.
And that makes sense because you know what, they do have a laboratory in Sweden, and it's called CERN. Have you ever heard about that? CERN. Girl, basically what they're doing is they're trying to, it's like this thing, it goes like this, like a C, and at the ends of the C, they're pushing at like crazy rates particles together, trying to make new particles, and people was like, stop, they're gonna make black holes, don't do that no more, and stuff like that. You never heard of that? So I don't know if that's what happened. That's probably what happened because they're trying to make new particles, but that's weird. Because the only way you can make, I guess, anything new is by taking what's already in existence and then manipulating that.
That's how you create anything,
right? So I'm just saying that's what they're trying to do.
Stupid.
You think it's stupid? Do you think it's stupid in a way that it could disrupt things, or do you think it can also be beneficial because it can solve things?
I think it's just the way it is because people mess too much.
You think people can manipulate stuff too much, and
I feel like that's why our Earth is the way it is now.
Yeah,
because we've over manipulated things. That's why I feel. So I feel like some stuff should be left alone, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to do things, but people abuse things. Or do it too much. Humans or don't know how to.
Yes, or just because the
humans
intentions
are
on
abusive
it.
creatures.
Yeah,
in general, we overdo it too much. Like I feel like are one of the most detrimental things that ever happened to Earth and animals and life and creatures because we really selfish. Our nature is just selfish. We care about ourselves more than anything. We're like leeches, man.
Yeah. So, do you believe that happened due to something else, or do you believe that we were born that way, or do you believe that our environment made people be so detrimental to the Earth?
Is that like our purpose here? Like, were we supposed to be like this, or did
Yeah.
we made like this?
Exactly.
We're probably supposed to be like this because
Yeah.
I feel like in every culture, I wouldn't even say in every culture, honestly, probably, but I feel like at the core root of every society that there is, there's selfishness. You care about yourself more than you care about the environment. And
Well,
so,
I think you got to understand too, because you know what,
but we
one
live off the
culture,
environment.
you know, one culture that I don't know if any other culture is like this, but I was watching Natural Geography, and one culture who was very concerned about the earth and have earth deities and they live off the land is a lot of African old cultures. I don't believe indigenous, like that's not their land, but they were first to that land, I guess you could say. And tell me why y'all know Australia? Y'all know what the indigenous people look like in Australia?
Yeah, they black.
Black with blonde hair.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
They're
They're darker than us with blonde hair, and they live in those Aboriginal people. They did a whole documentary on them. It was an ancient aliens. That's how I figure it out.
I mean, you can Google them. They really
and I googled it because they trying to say that these people are like one of the first people that their history is saying about star people. They believe they came here from star people. And if you think about star, where there's a star, there is life. Because life has to have energy, and stars are energy, pure energy.
There's balls of energy.
Balls of energy. And do y'all know that the sun is 93 million miles away? So it takes 8 minutes for the sunlight to hit us. Therefore, we're living out in past sunlight. Like everything we seeing this has not originated right now. We're looking at stuff that's our sun, everything, our light was originated 8 minutes ago. Did you know NASA, y'all, said that this star from like so many light years away, they had the ability to see us at this moment. They wouldn't see us, they would see dinosaurs. Because the sun, just like when you turn that light on, your eyes, your pupils in your eyes has to adjust to the light before it can actually see. Mm-hmm. And that is like, that's crazy because with light, I feel like light is what everything is. Without light, what would it be? Darkness.
Potential energy. Mm-hmm. Like I told you, remember I was like, the darkness is a form of potential energy. Or that light hits and but whatever happens.
Anything can happen.
But being that there's potential energy, if there wasn't potential energy, it wouldn't be infinite because then there would be a beginning.
Right.
But that potential energy keeps it infinite. You got to think, but when there's zero, there's still that -1, -2,
mm-hmm.
The fact that you're pulling it back so far. How far can you pull it? Nobody knows it's in darkness how far it's coming back, and then how far it's going to shoot.
Infinitely in the negative, and
infinitely in the positive. And that's another
thing. Which is why scientists look at a lot of stuff on a straight line. It's just it either goes this way or it goes this way forever and ever. There is no stopping. It just goes and goes like the universe. It just goes. And goes and goes.
Another thing, y'all, because one day I was looking up. I don't know if y'all see my post. I post on Facebook. I talk about Lanikia or whatever. How the scientists found how that is a supercluster of galaxies that are closer to us. So there's a supercluster of galaxies that called Lanikia, or I don't know how to pronounce the name, but basically there are stars and there's galaxies above us and below us. And as a creature, I don't think, anytime I think about the stars, I think above. But there's also, if you think about that space that's right below, if you think about that space right below Earth, you just think Earth's just floating and there's nothing down there. But down there's other galaxies too. Mm-hmm. And I just find it just remarkable because...
That's why I don't understand the flat earthers.
You know what? This is what I was about to say.
God, yeah. Stop.
I hate people
Stop.
who say that.
Stop, y'all. Stop.
No, do you know NASA scientists, they said they believe that the universe, that's what I was about to say when I was looking at that, they said they believe that the universe is flat. It's a theory. It's not, they can never know. But it's a theory.
It's a couple people there that might think that.
And what they say,
that it's round.
I honestly believe that the earth,
Don't do it, T.
I'm not saying that it's flat.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
I'm leaving.
I'm about to say,
I thought all this we was going somewhere.
I never said, I'm telling you what theorists believe. I never said the earth is flat because you know what? I ain't never seen the earth from above. I've seen.
There are some people who are like that. That my friend is like that. She's like, I ain't seen it from my own 2 eyes.
And I feel like that's the best way to be. But the pictures, if you look at, but no, listen, no, the pictures, y'all, you go on NASA, the pictures that they have don't never show the whole earth is it only shows the top and then it's black at the bottom. Like it's a dome. Those are the pictures. If you go to NASA and look. And that's why I say I don't know. Because it's a circle and then it's black. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen that picture?
For me, that is too limiting.
I feel
it's too limiting to have it's like how you said it goes in a straight line and this and that, but it's a line that goes this
up
way,
that way. Yeah.
There's no way that that's it.
I don't believe that they think that's it. And I don't know because like I told
how
one
do you
person.
explain the atlases and the maps? How do you explain all that mileage?
What
When it's just constantly going that way and that way and that way. But then you're supposed to have
my thing
this many miles away. How do you measure that? You can't. That's impossible.
You can't measure what?
How they set up the world atlas and how the miles between the countries and stuff. If it was flat, it would take longer for I don't know. You know, it's not how
I don't think it's flat.
It's not flat.
I don't think
if it was flat, like the time it takes to get to Asia would be way longer.
Yeah.
Way longer.
Yeah. Because that means you would have to go on the whole
like 100 billion miles. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the mileage.
But that's the real life mileage that's on the atlas.
Yeah.
Right. Because
it's
it's curved like this. But if it was
it's curved, yeah.
Instead of like a curve, it would be like you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Instead of like a dome or something round, it would just be straight out. Like
that's why I said,
and then if it was a dome, like
you
got to explain the whole other half of the world.
Yeah.
You got to explain the South Pole. Yeah. Tell me how we got over it. If that's just a dome,
South and North and all that.
If it was a dome, the mileage would be short and cut in half.
Yeah, because how they get. Yeah.
You got to explain that math.
Yeah.
Ask them that, they'd be like,
Trina, you know the white girl Trina?
Yeah, with the two. we just not going on there.
Hey, say no more.
Say no more. So she believes that the earth is flat, okay? And she believes it because of one of them dumbass kids off of Facebook that made their little videos of why they feel like it's flat.
I mean, I'd rather take someone's point of view valid if I ain't never been there more than it's flat because we can't say it's flat.
People's point of view valid when they have proof to back it up.
That's true.
These people don't have proof. They're just thoughts of why they feel this way. It's not proof. Even our crazy ass ancient alien theories and stuff that we feel like are possibly true, they have somewhat factual proof to back up their theories. These motherfuckers don't have proof. They just I want to be rebellious.
They feel, you know what? I think they're so, and you know what's so crazy, y'all? There's this man I was watching on documentary, because I watch all kind of documentaries. Some don't really, I just be like Jewish, and some do hit home because it makes you think. And this one man says, and it made me think of something else. I'll tell you. This woman said that sometimes the controversies are just controversies for you to not understand what is just really simple. Like basically we are able to have so many controversies to basically distract your mind on what the truth just being so simple. And you know what? That's crazy because my show, remember, I don't know if I told you about the scariest show that I love was the X-Files, girl. I used to, the song, But I'm always curious, girl. And I watched it like a month ago. I ain't never really watched it. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes. In the last episode of the last season, girl, fucked me up. Because they finally, everything was coming to the end. At the end, they said, you know what? There was no aliens. you were sent on a chase the whole time because to distract you from the real truth. I said, oh hell no! So I was thinking, like, what's the damn real truth? Where the aliens? Because the whole time, y'all, you know I'm scared of aliens. I was like, where's the aliens? Where the aliens? We're about to show the aliens, but show the aliens. And they're like, there's no aliens, Connor. That's his name. The other, I forgot her name. She was like, there's no aliens. They were distracting you for. He said for 15 years. I've been going.
You're have to pull up that.
Yes, y'all. The whole time I thought the end would show me some fucking aliens, y'all. Cause it came to the end, y'all. They said you've been on the duck goose chase for all these years because the truth is bigger than that. I said, what the fuck is the truth? Y'all, I had a heart attack and I threw the pillow and everything. I said, all these damn years, I couldn't wait to see the damn aliens. He didn't give a fuck about the truth. He was so mad it was no alien. He's like, what you mean it was no alien? I'm like, ask about the truth, nigga. What can be bigger than that? What can be bigger than that? She was like, yeah, they gave my mom cancer. They gave everybody cancer. They wanted you to think there's aliens. They wanted you to think that because the truth is so much more profound. Bitch, what is the truth?
Profound than a damn alien.
What the fuck is profound? We aliens. What is the more profound than that? It fucked me up. I'm telling you to this day. To this day. Because years. What time is it?
It is.
For years, I've been wanting to them.
4:30.
Okay.
What time you get them? 5:30.
I gotta get them by 5:30.
Okay.
But still, y'all, it just makes you and when he said that, it made me think about that because I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Maybe instead of looking for a solution to something, like he was like, instead of just trying to find shit, how about you figure out how you are. Like, what is going to benefit you? You know what I mean? Yeah.
This, believe it or
and I was
not,
like, that makes perfect sense.
Some people have powers to see what they're going to be like in the future or astral project into their future and stuff. But right here and right now, like, this is all you really have control of. Yeah. Yes, your future and what happens, what you do.
But the only reason why you have control.
How you really feel is on you in that moment.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't.
That is really all that.
That's all there is, because the only way you can even control your future is by being present now. Mm-hmm. That's the only way. And girl, I was looking at different dimensions. Like, if y'all look at different people break down the different dimensions, because we live in the third dimension. Then there's people like 3D, that's third dimension. People like we live in 3D plus time, which is the fourth dimension. And how science break that down is an interesting look. Like, it will have you thinking like, oh, okay. And that's before, like I told you, my philosophy teacher, the one that made me feel like we're basically all consciousness, just in different forms. But dimensions even say that too. Like, you get to a certain dimension where all particles, they're basically like this. All particles and everything in this way, and how the animals react, everything is all in one happening at one time. That's like the top 10. So that's like everything. That's like they said the dimensions go, like you said, up and down forever. It's just a way of trying to digest it. So they just went to 10. Some people go to 12, 11. But at the top, it'd be like every element of everything happening at the same time, just coexisting. But when you go, and that's what they get multi-universes and parallel universes, because all it takes is different bases of different types of energy and different types of chemicals to make a whole different world. It's just weird. It's weird, y'all. It's weird.
Well, remember when you asked us, do you think it is in our nature to be selfish and greedy and detrimental to the world, or do we choose to be that way? Is it more of like an adaptation? Remember?
Right.
So what I think is, it is part of our life cycle. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. How cells have a life cycle. Everything has a life cycle. But our source, our energy is not determined like life or death by that life cycle. But the form of energy we are does have a life cycle.
Yeah.
And I do think that part of the reason humanity is going to die off, like humanity as we know it now, us being how humans are, this anatomy and everything is going to die off, is because we're ultimately going to kill ourselves. Mm-hmm. We're going to ruin our environment.
We're going downhill.
Yes. Yeah. But it's just part of extinction. That doesn't mean
everything is
but
dead. Yeah.
we're gonna ourselves, this body is gonna deteriorate and everything, as I'm talking about 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Before that happens, I think we still have a long way to go.
But our energy will evolve again.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like
and I
dinosaurs.
think that's what the aliens are to us. Just
our
like
future selves.
how you said that everything happens at the same time. I think our future selves be kind of like looking back on us, and that's how people say like, "Oh, I saw aliens."
Yeah,
or,
and that's another theory too. I was going to say, because my mama said that too when I was little, and my mama be thinking I didn't get an interview with that. She be thinking because she was like,
my crazy ass think that's where we come from.
Me exactly, because my mama said because one day she was like,
I don't think
she said, what if just aliens are just us in the future? And I was like.
We adapted. This earth is gonna die. We gotta go somewhere.
And you know what they said? They said that, and I seen something like that. They say that because if you go into space, there's no gravity, so you get shorter. They had all kinds of little methods of how we would look like a damn alien.
People that go to space, if they do not. Fucked up when they come back.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's that gravitation. No, y'all remember Michael, the white boy that used to work with me? That was my boy. Y'all, he sent me this video a couple weeks ago talking about what they did NASA, y'all. I don't know if it was NASA. I think it was. They have a vacuum. No, white boy. He got fired. Anyways, they had this place that's like this big cylinder where there's no air. I was like, how the fuck is that possible? Okay. So it's called a vacuum. What they did with the air, they did a bowling ball and a feather. And they both fell down. Of course, the feather took a long time. The bowling ball went down fast. Oh, yeah, but they took the air and they both hit at the same time. So he was like, that's because I got
seen that video.
Oh,
that video.
We even